Bobby, have you ever played this game, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare?
Oh my gosh, man, that was, gosh, it was such a complete game for me because everyone knows that I really like just playing multiplayer for Call of Duty, but this was the one where I really dug into the single player campaign and just fell in love just from the beginning, being on the boat and having to try to escape and the water's coming in and you're falling all over the place. I'm going, am I watching a movie here? Like I'm actually like trying to escape and just do stuff. And it was such a great, intense single player. I mean, Gillied Up, everyone knows that as being one of the best, I mean, in my opinion, one of the best levels ever created for a game. I mean, it was intense, but it was quiet. You know, it wasn't like just all guns a-blazing right off the bat. You're crawling around trying to keep cover from people in tanks and walking in the field, and you're like, I gotta survive this somehow. But Call of Duty, Call of Duty, everything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that campaign, you're totally right. Like, I have a memory of playing that campaign at a press event. And, like, I wasn't, like, a big Call of Duty guy. I didn't play 1, 2, or 3. But even before it came out, people knew that 4 was different and special. And it was sort of picking up this steam and this buzz. So I went to this press event to play 4. And I played that tanker mission, that opening mission. And I'm just like, I was like, holy crap. Like, this is incredible. And then my car got towed, and I had to go to the courthouse and get my car back that day.
Oh, no.
Wow.
But it was kind of worth it.
And again, it was set in the modern era too, so we had modern guns and it just felt so realistic. And even though they weren't like focusing on a I guess you say real world war at the time, it still felt like, okay, I can get immersed in this and enjoy what's happening. That was just a single player. I got into the multiplayer.
It's like, oh, then the multiplayer.
My friends were telling me, hey, you played multiplayer, and at the time I was in college, and I was like, I don't really have time to dig into that. So you got to play it. And the very first thing someone told me was, stop running down the middle of the street, noob, because I didn't know what was going on. And I was like, what is this like multiplayer stuff where I'm interacting with people on headphones, and it was my first multiplayer experience. And this one, now looking back at it, it was simple. It was 3 kill streaks, and you had your limit options were setting up your loadout, so you couldn't go in and add like 16 different things to your gun and have all these perks. It was just, this is what you choose, and this is what you have compared to someone else. And it was just such an amazing multiplayer experience.
It was really different feeling. I mean, you touched on earlier that like Halo 3 came out this year. Like Halo was the game. I don't remember if Gears was this year or the next year, but like Call of Duty punishing players for like you were just dead like that.
Yeah.
But then you came back like that too. So that like fast pace of like you're never out of it for long, but it punishes people for not sort of taking it slow and steady. Felt really different and strange and foreign, at least to me at the time. And then it would kind of go on to be the thing. Like that's just what multiplayer games are now.
Yeah, I remember that got a lot of my friends into multiplayer and shooters, and not playing online. I know it happened with a lot of people for Halo 2, but then I think Call of Duty 4 and the combination of Halo 3 put us like at odds. Like, hey, what are you playing? You playing Halo or are you playing Call of Duty? Like, what kind of person are you?
You're leveling up. I'm sorry, but you're leveling up in Call of Duty. Like you prestige, so you're racing other people. It's like, well, I'm a 5th prestige. What are you? And you really had like your bragging rights. And like say, what gun are you using or what loadout are you running with? And again, if Miranda was choosing, I guess, the M16 red dot, she had like stopping power behind it, and I was going, well, I like to be a ninja, so I'm going dead silence with the MP5 suppressor. Like it was like her loadout, and that was my loadout, and that's what you went into with it, and it was fun. I put so many hours into that game. So
you started in 4 in 2007. I know you're still playing Black Ops 3. Right. Have you just been like Call of Duty ever since, like in the 9 years since you take a break?
I have not taken a break. I just keep going through it, and like and the point is, like being a family man and stuff, I don't have time to dig into like some of those bigger games like Fallout and all that. I don't have the time, and I would love to do it, but I would get frustrated because I only could put in like an hour or two a night in the game, and I just don't think I will be satisfied doing that. With the games with Call of Duty, you can play 2 or 3 matches and be like, oh, well, have my fix, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I play, I try to venture off and play other things, but Call of Duty still has my heart.
They strike this balance between, it's another franchise that like Assassin's Creed just comes out every year like clockwork. And they strike a balance between like if you played the last one, like the controls are the same, you know what you're getting into, but then they change it enough that like over time, like if you were gone for like 3 or 4 years and came back, it looked like super different, look and feel super different, but it's really gradual change. And I saw that firsthand because I played Black Ops 3, and that was the first Call of Duty.
That one is very different though.
Yeah, but even in like the
but
multiplayer,
still,
like
like it's familiar enough, but with enough changes that make it, unique.
Yeah. And I don't think I'd played one since Black Ops 2, which was, I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what year that was. And so I was like, whoa, like there's all these classes and I didn't know what was going on.
And looking back at Call of Duty 4, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people say they won't change, and some people say they like the way it was. I like boots on the ground, and again, it's more or less a balanced gun-on-gun action, where back then it was like, well, if I got you, that was because that was my skill, or a twitch shooter, like people say. But nowadays, I'm overwhelmed with all the kill streaks, and basically you get 3 or 4 kills and call in something to come do the work with you. In this game, you had your UAV at the 3, you had your airstrike after 5, and then your helicopter at the 7.
Yeah.
But then it was enough where it didn't feel overwhelming and be like, oh, well, I can't get to that. Yes, you can.
Yeah, in a sense, it was very pure.
Right.
It was obviously the starting ground for what we have today, but it was just kind of perfect.
Right. Yeah, kind of perfect.
It's easy to jump in and learn.
Yeah.
So.
Modern Warfare definitely it defined the modern military shooter.
Mm-hmm.